Hi, my name is Grace, and here are 4 books that have marked my late teens. The first book is The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. Tell me why Amazon delivered it to me looking like this. Don't ask me what happened in the printing, but I got this book, I believe, in 2024, so 2 years ago, I would say. I'm just going to read should I read the blurb? I forgot the English word. Should I read the blurb? It says, written as a collection of poetic essays. So it's a collection of 26 poetic essays that are delivered as sermons. The Prophet touches on diverse and sprawling topics as love, death, pleasure, and prayer. And I find it interesting because I am a huge fan of poetry, and to find proper poetry in terms of poetry that speaks about everyday things, be it, for example, love, marriage, work, and religion. Alright, this book really spoke to me, and it's that kind of book that you pick it up, every time you pick it up and you read it, right, it just speaks to you in a different way. And I believe, wait a minute, I remember the plot now. I saw it recommended by a Christian that was on TikTok, and he's very philosophical, Caleb Callahan. This is 2 years ago, and I was like, okay, that book seems interesting, I want to read it, I want to get it, and so I bought it. Here are some quotes. When love beckons to you, follow him, though his ways are hard and steep. And when his wings enfold you, yield to him, though the sword hidden among his pinions may wound you. And when he speaks to you, believe in him, though his voice may shatter your dreams as the north wind lays waste the garden. On marriage, you were born together, and together you shall be forevermore. You shall be together when the wide wings of death scatter your days. You shall be together even in the silent memory of God. But let there be spaces in your togetherness, and let the winds of the heavens dance between you. So that's a small teaser into the book. I definitely recommend. Definitely. Book 2. This one is fresh in my memory because I read it in this month is June. I read it in March or April. Yeah. And book 2 is The Meaning of Marriage by Timothy Keller. I think it's so crazy because it's anyways, The Meaning of Marriage by Timothy Keller. And his wife Katie Keller. I had been looking for books on marriage. No, I'm not married, but I'm like, no, I have to prepare myself. I have to know what I'm getting into eventually when I get married, and I saw this book, I discovered this book. I can't remember now how I discovered it, but I discovered the book, and it broke down a lot of stereotypes in my mind, or false ideologies in my mind that I had about marriage, right? For example, the perfect spouse as an ideal does not exist. So there's no perfect spouse. The right spouse is the one you end up choosing. And I used to be someone who believed, there's just this one guy out there that eventually I'll marry and, have kids and all things. And if I don't meet this guy, or if this guy ends up saying does not end up following God's plan for his life, it's gonna affect me, and then it will meet again. It's whoa, stop. Maybe that's not the case, And so yeah, this book touches on how and why friendship should be the base and foundation for any relationship, any romantic relationship. In C.S. Lewis's book, The Four Loves, he speaks about affection, charity, friendship, and eros, right? And Timothy Keller, as an avid reader of C.S. Lewis, touches on that a lot in this book. And he also speaks about the different love languages and how love languages are actually languages that you have to learn, right, to be able to communicate with your spouse, right? And he speaks about God's plan and idea for marriage, and comes against like this 21st century spirit of individualism, especially in the context of marriage, right? How, oh, I'm just getting married so I can like fulfill my greatest dream, and so that my spouse can like support me to become the best version of myself, and all the things that, but I mean, is that actually God's plan for marriage? I guess, is that God's plan, you know? So anyways, that is book 2, The Meaning of Marriage by Timothy Keller. Moving on to book 3, we have the OG, Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. I got this book and read it also this year, before I turned 20 though, so like, what? Before I turned 21, I'm currently 21 by the way. So I got this book and I read it when I was 20, and it was during a phase where I was just struggling with my faith in terms of what exactly do I believe in as a Christian, and why do I believe in these things that I believe in, you know? Just like it's not an existential crisis, but like, you know, just thinking through stuff, man. And anyways, to the book. He first talks about right and wrong, so he makes it plain that there's a moral law, right? What tells us that this is right and this is wrong, what tells us that murder is wrong, and what tells us that helping the old lady to cross the street, you know, so that she doesn't like get hit by a car is the right thing to do, you know. And so he argues for an objective truth, and he also comes against philosophical ideas such as like naturalism or atheism as well, right? Like the big isms that like all want to prove that there's no God when we all know that there is a God, right? And then there's right and wrong, right? Especially in our like culture today, you guys know. The second part then dives into what Christians actually believe in, right? And so he says Jesus wasn't just like a great moral teacher, right? It's like, for example, maybe Mahatma Gandhi, or I don't know, any other moral teacher that's out there. But anyways, he says it's either Christ was a liar, a lunatic, or Lord, right? Or is Lord. And so that is to the section of what Christians believe in. And then he speaks about Christian behavior and how like the greatest sin is actually pride. Like when it comes down to it, the problem is pride, you know. And he also speaks, one thing that really spoke to me in this book, you guys see like I have these 2 markers here, and those are like 2 pages that I will just always read in this book. And there's so many quotes that I've seen other Christians post, be like Jackie Hill Perry, or be it Christian Kane. Anyways, but like other preachers and teachers of the word will post, and I'm like, where do they get all these quotes from? It's from this book. It's this book right here. And so I just want to read this excerpt to you, or the sentence. It's actually a sentence that like just blew me up, and I was like, wow, what? How? But it's possible. He says, to trust him in reference to Christ, to trust him means, of course, trying to do all that he says. There would be no sense in saying you trusted a person if you would not take his advice. And I was like, damn, that's so true, because I was in a point in my life where I was starting, a point in my life, like at the beginning of this year, you guys know, starting to learn what it actually means to trust God, right, as an adult. And so I read that and I was like, it makes sense. To trust him is to take his advice. And the thing is, people are like, oh, it's not advice, like it's his word, you should follow it. And that is true. But to break it down for someone who had like a lot of questions, that was just simple truth, but profound truth. And so those are like one of the gems that are in this book. Like, if someone woke me up in my sleep and said, what is the one book you would recommend? Mere Christianity. That's it. And now, brothers and sisters, I come to for me, this fourth book has to be like the OG of Christian. Oh, let me be careful here. Has to be the OG of retelling early Christian life, right? And some of you might maybe already know the book, or it's by our dearly beloved Francine Rivers, A Voice in the Wind. So A Voice in the Wind is the first book in a trilogy called The Mark of the Lion. I do believe I have read book 2. I think I read this book like 2 years ago. This is one of those books. Okay, let me put it this way. I'm someone that does not normally reread books. Like after I've read a book once, it's like, okay, okay, nice, you know. But this book is one of those books that I'm waiting to forget everything the book is about so that I can like pick it up afresh and read it again. And in preparation for this video, I realized that has not been the case, so I might still have to wait like another year before I can read this book again. But A Voice in the Wind is it's such a it's like chef's kiss. Like it's, and I know a lot of people go off about like what's the name of the other book, the one that retells A Redeeming Love. I believe I've read it like some years ago, maybe like 10 years ago or so. Like I was still in high school when I read Redeeming Love. Why did I say 10 years ago? Let's say 5 years ago, let me put it that way. But it didn't speak to me like the way A Voice in the Wind spoke to me. But anyways, this is the plot, or let me at least read what it's written on the back. It says, torn by her love for a handsome aristocrat, a young slave girl clings to her faith in the living God for deliverance from the forces of decadent rule. And so we have 3 main characters. We have Hadassah, who is a Jewish girl that survives the destruction of the temple in 70 AD. It's so cool reading this book and seeing how much effort the author put into learning about how life was in 70 AD, right, and after the destruction of the temple. Because I won't say I took a class, but I watched like a series of videos about ancient Near Eastern history, right? And that was it's so cool reading about things or remembering things that I read here as I was watching the class. But like, that's not the point. Anyway, the point is it was set in Rome after the destruction of Jerusalem in AD, and so Hadassah survives the temple destruction and she's captured and sold into slavery, right? And then she becomes the slave of the sister of the main character, or the other main character, whose name is Marcus. Marcus is a wealthy Roman aristocrat who is arrogant and lives for pleasure and success, and so he like depicts the height of the Roman life, or the wanted or desired Roman life in 1780. And then we have Atratus, who is a Germanic warrior who was captured by the Romans and trained to become a gladiator. I have to say, this book resonated with me in so many ways, right, that I didn't even know were ever possible. Let me read you a quote. It says here, so this is from page 142, it says, mind you, Julia is the sister of the main character, Marcus. He says, how could Julia choose the truth if she had not the ears to hear it? How could she see Christ if she felt no need for a savior? Hadassah saw the wealth and comfort the Valerians enjoyed as a curse on them. How do you reach people who feel no desire for a savior? And I was just like, that speaks so much into our generation, because especially like living in Europe, okay, I stay in Germany, and just living in the West just shows you how luxurious people live, right? In what luxury people live, and how satisfying that is to them, where you think, okay, or they think at least, or many believe they have no need for a savior. So it's like, how do you preach the gospel in a world that has no need for a savior? And she also like Francine Rivers dives more into that topic as well, right? And it's just towards the end of the book, Julia's reckless choices puts Hadassah into a position where she must either save herself or openly confess her faith. And so that's like you're left on a cliffhanger, and then you're encouraged to read the next book, and then the next, and then the third book. Yeah, I'm not rating these books because I mean I feel like the title should say it all, because these are books that like marked my life. So those are the 4 books, guys. That's a wrap. That's all I got. Looking back on my early teens, I must say 14-year-old me would have never believed that I would like one day end up reading non-fiction books, right? But here we are, we're grown, here we are. Yeah, that's it from me. Hopefully I make another video. But anyways, bye guys.